Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective. Like my hat? My brother and friend preacher gave that to me. Here's a neat little trick, though. Whole pile. This way, if I ever forget who I am, I can always put on my hat and look in the mirror and remember it's PVD. No, wait, DVP. Yes, that's the one. So I have to turn upside down when I'm looking in the mirror, and then I'll have a DVP. So it's a pretty cool deal. It's a hell of a hat. His wife had that made. They designed it. It's well made. It's quite a nice little thing. And I appreciate you, preacher. Much love to you and friend. You guys rock the joint. But anyway, I wanted to get on here today and talk about a couple of things that I find interesting. It's one of those, gotta use logic when you're thinking there. Situation going on in New York. The the new governor, whatever the hell she is, that's an evil, nasty woman. But it's par for the course for these people. They got to get the nastiest of their kind in order to try to bully people around, and they're pretty good at it because they have no morals and no conscience. So, it all works out for them pretty well. But now they're getting ready to fire a bunch of people in the medical industry because they don't want to get the prick. Well, now she's talking about grabbing medically trained National Guard to fill those positions. And this is the part where it takes a little logic. Think about this now. National Guard. Upstanding citizens willing to serve their country 2 weeks a year, every 1 weekend a month. But guess what they're doing the rest of the time? They're working folks just like you and me. They go to the job, they come home, they sit and have dinner with the family. Well, that's what we hope. But they have real jobs. The people that are trained in the medical industry, here's a reality check. They probably have a job in the medical field in their hometown. So you're going to activate them into call-up status. They're going to activate the National Guard. So they're going to be pulling these medically trained National Guardsmen and women from their positions that they're working at now and have them come to another state potentially, or same state, different hospital, and they're going to put them to work to replace the people that they're firing. This is the part that makes your head kind of spin. You're going to take a nurse, a physician, a PA, an assistant, a tech. Okay, you're going to take them from the hospital they're working at, and you're going to move them from there to a hospital to cover for somebody who has been fired because of personal choice. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But it just keeps going like this. The ignorance, the stupidity is epic. But what can you do? Anyway, so they're going to have people that have retired and their licenses have lapsed. They're going to let them work basically without a license. Medical license and practitioner's license, those are pretty important. How are they going to get covered from the liability insurance, the medical malpractice insurance? Guess what? Those companies that offer that insurance, they're just going to laugh if you tell them you want to get your limited liability or whatever insurance for your medical malpractice and you don't have an active license. Don't work that way, because the insurance company could be sued into oblivion if they insure a non-licensed practitioner. It would be devastating. So they're not going to do it. They won't touch you. Here's another one. This one I was just led into by watching some other information online and things like that. The restaurants in New York that are willing to enforce this, ID card on your phone kind of thing, passports and all that, if they are willing to play the game and their restaurant takes a financial hit because of playing the game, guess what? Mr. and Mrs. Government are willing to come in there and pay them a stipend to carry them through this period. And it turns out that money that the restaurant is getting, in some cases, exceeds their normal restaurant income. Their red line money. So it's a guy that was interviewed from a restaurant in New York says, I don't care if people come. It really doesn't matter to me because we're doing better now than we were doing when we were getting patrons. So what do they give a shit? But this is amazing to me. The people are willing to play this game, and it's all about money. If the cash flow stopped, these son of a bitches would roll over and expose their belly, and it would be over with. But guess what that takes? Unification. Together in one voice class, unification. We have to come together. The left-right paradigm, his color, her color, their sex, their breed, their social status, those are all designed to keep people apart. If people would get over themselves, we would be able to have a peaceful, loving community where everybody's accepted. If you are a American constitutionalist like myself, and I can also say I'm well-traveled and well-versed in other cultures, which many people are not. I've had the opportunity to live in Japan. I lived in Turkey. I've been all over Mexico. I've been all over the Mediterranean. I've been to many, many countries. I love people. I didn't meet bad people at these places. All of these, dangerous places that the media tells you that you don't even want to step off the airplane because you're all going to die, So I did just fine. I met some incredible people. But you know what part of that is? Because I don't see color. I don't give a shit what color you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you call yourself. If you're a dude with a dangly and you want to call yourself ma'am, that's all the way up to you. The only thing that I ask is don't try to make me what you are. That's all I give a shit about. Let me be me, you be you, enjoy life, socialize, mingle, hang out, and just come together. If we all decided that we're not going to spend money for the next 3 days, we won't go to the restaurants, we won't go to the gyms, we won't do anything. Shit, turn off your TVs and computers, take a 3-day vacation. Don't spend a dime of money for 3 days. That's 36, 40, 72 hours. Okay, 72 hours. And also, truck drivers. If you just decided to stop rolling because of the game, what the hell are they going to do? If everybody just doesn't spend a dime, do you realize that this country, in 1992, there was a trucker strike. I participated in that because at that time I was a driver. So the drivers all parked their trucks. And they were sitting still, nobody moved for 32 hours. Finally, an agreement was made, which they have reneged on since then. But it's not that hard, because in 32 hours, the country completely submitted, because they said that if the thing was to go on for 4 more hours, that's 36, that the entire country's economy would collapse. Did you know that we teeter that close to devastation? Did you have any idea that you can collapse the United States of America if you shut down the economy for 36 hours? Well, that's a lot of power, and people don't realize they have it. So what we need to do is come together and say we're not playing this game, and everybody just stop spending money for 72 hours. It will be like the ultimate union strike. The government elected officials would be begging the communities to bring forward a representative that's willing to speak on their behalf. Let's negotiate how we can get this resolved. Trust me, that's how much power we have, and people are just, they're ignorant to it. They don't realize. Hey, come on. So, anyway, we have to do something, or we're going to fall. And going to, I want to do another little subject, but just remember, we got to come together, we got to organize, we got to do this. We have the power, they don't. They have the fear-mongering, they have the squawk box, they have the ability to reach a large number of people to keep them in abject fear. So, we don't have that. We have onesies and twosies and a couple of hundred people at a time that may pay attention to what I say. But if we have enough of us out there doing it, they stand no chance. It's up to us. But all right, going to the beta test of epic proportion, the prison planet known as Australia. And to speak Australian. Okay, the folks out there are getting demolished by their boys and girls in blue. Well, it's a huge mistake for these folks to be turning on their citizens because there's a little tiny thing called the Nuremberg Code. Guess what? That's not a U.S. thing. That's a global thing. And in the trials in Nuremberg after World War II, the excuse of, I was just doing my job, got those people hanged right next to the ones that enjoyed doing their job. So, when that time comes, just remember the gallows don't discriminate at all. And they don't give a shit if you were just doing your job. So, also, when you push a people, a collective group of people, when you push them to a certain point, you will get retaliation. Oh, but we're disarmed. No, you're not. Remember that for thousands of years, humanity survived without the pew-pews. They were taking down Goliath beasts. You know, David and Goliath, get the thing there? But they were taking down mammoths to feed their villages with sticks, with spears, with billy clubs, with all kinds of things. We have much more technology than that now. We can make weapons out of anything. I can turn your household cleaning products into something that is really nasty. So, I don't want to hear that we're this disarmed thing, because people aren't. They're just afraid. But when you push the people enough, which is what the cops are doing in Australia, they will retaliate, and there will be no mercy, because you will have pushed them to the point of devastation where they have no other choice. When that time comes, I pray for them. I hope to give them strength and, Godspeed and all of that. But the reason I brought all this up is because I want the people of Australia to do a little experiment. I've heard rumors that these police that they're bringing in, that are dressed up like the Aussie police, are not in fact Australian. Now, at this moment is a rumor, and I hate doing anything based on rumor, but what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get some research done. and it's hard to get it from this end on a place like Australia. But the people of Australia need to look up these police officers. When you get that name and that badge number and all that, do your homework. Find out who these people are. Don't post their shit. Don't dox them. That's illegal. Don't do anything that allows them an excuse to come after you. But find out who they are. Because if they're not from your state or region of Australia, and they're just willing to come over there because they don't have a dog in the fight, so they'll beat the shit out of anybody they tell them to, well, it gives you another excuse to retaliate, because they ain't your homeboys or girls. They're just transplants to do a mission, to beat you up and to keep you submissive. It gives you something to think about. But anyway, if you live in Australia, take some time, learn about the people that are kicking your ass. Start doing some intel. Start finding out a weakness, and start preparing yourselves to take back your country. Because if you don't do it soon, you won't ever do it. And I don't know what else to tell you. As far as here, they're trying real hard to take our guns. But, you know, they better think very long and hard about that. And especially with the fact that they're going after our kids now with the prick. The most precious thing in God's universe is the child. They are the next generation. They are the gift from God. When they come out of your wife, of your girlfriend, you see their first gasp of life, taking it in a world outside of the protection of the mother. You realize it's your job to do whatever it takes to make sure that that child has a long, healthy, comfortable, happy life. The government wants to stop that. So if they start coming after the children, they're going to have to learn how to hide. That's as point blank as it gets. Because people like me, I don't have anything to lose. I got grandkids now. I've had a great life. I don't have to worry about anything else. So, not a good position for somebody to be in when they're trying to take out the kids. They'll lose. But anyway, on a final note, yesterday, Lisa and me celebrated 31 years together in marriage for 31 years. And we are happier every day that we're together. And I've got to say that with the help of you folks and your prayers, your support, your pats on the back, your coming to my property and praying with your hands on Lisa, we're the ones that allowed us to have another year together. Because last year, it was bad. It was really, really bad. This year, she's been up. We got up and we helped clean house together. We did a bunch of stuff yesterday. I mean, we didn't go running around and do bar hopping or anything, but we did a lot of stuff together and we enjoyed it. We got ourselves another year, and we're now in our 32nd year, and Lisa's doing pretty well, so we're going for nothing. And God bless you all. Thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Preacher, God bless you, brother. And until next time, y'all, stay in the fight.